Hello, and welcome back to IELTS Zone, your daily 10-minute upgrade to real English. It's Thursday, and we are focused on culture and society. I'm Clara.
And I'm Mark. Today we're dissecting Westernization, the influence of Western culture, media, and values globally. We'll analyze the language needed to discuss cultural assimilation, the loss of authenticity, and generational shifts.
This is a vital debate for many of our listeners. To start, what is the best academic term for the blending of cultures that occurs when one dominates?
That is cultural assimilation. It refers to the process by which a person or a group's language and culture come to resemble those of another group, typically a dominant one. This can lead to the loss of local identity.
The core argument against cultural assimilation is the loss of authenticity. The simple term for something being copied is imitation, but using authenticity shows the value being lost. When a culture loses its unique character, it sacrifices its authenticity.
Authenticity is key. Now for the positive side, exposure. Global media grants youth exposure to diverse ideas and knowledge. The everyday phrase we use for introducing new ideas is to open one's eyes to. Western media often opens one's eyes to global trends.
That's a perfect idiom for speaking part 3. Now let's look at a key challenge, generational gap. This refers to the differences in attitudes, behaviors, and values between generations. Westernization often exacerbates the generational gap regarding time-honored traditions.
Exacerbate is essential. Now, let's look at a key solution. Sustain. We must sustain local languages and arts. The phrasal verb we use for continuing an activity is to carry on. Families must carry on their traditions to sustain their local identity.
That's a strong solution-oriented verb. Another great phrasal verb for describing a gradual change is to creep in. Western habits often creep in subtly through social media rather than obvious foreign influence.
We've covered the problem of assimilation and the need for authenticity. Let's formalize this language into the IELTS Zone breakdown.
Welcome to The Breakdown. Today's focus is on abstract nouns for societal impact, verbs for protection, and legal/cultural vocabulary. Our first academic phrase is cultural hegemony. This refers to the dominance of one social group or culture over another, usually without force. This is the power dynamic behind Westernization.
A mandatory term for sociology topics. Now, a key verb for expressing the necessary protection of identity, preserve. It means to maintain something in its original or existing state. In writing task 2, you could argue governments must preserve local languages through educational legislation to counter the effects of cultural hegemony.
That's excellent. Now, for discussing the main human goal, identity formation. This refers to the development of an individual's distinct personality. Young people face a complex challenge in identity formation, as they must reconcile their time-honored heritage with global media influences.
And finally, a great adjective for something that is impossible to change, irreversible. You can conclude that the loss of local language is a tragic and potentially irreversible consequence of cultural assimilation.
That wraps up our strategic words: cultural assimilation, cultural hegemony, identity formation, and preserve. Time for the tip.
Here's your IELTS Zone tip of the day. When describing a social trend, Task 2, Part 3, use the structure, the phenomenon stems from X, leading to Y, which is ultimately exacerbated by Z. This demonstrates advanced cause and effect analysis and high grammatical range.
Now, it's time for your daily challenge. Practice starts now. Writing task 2, question. The process of cultural assimilation driven by global media poses an irreversible threat to local identity and heritage. Discuss the reasons for this shift and suggest ways that governments can preserve time-honored customs among younger generations.
Outline your essay focusing on how cultural hegemony exacerbates the generational gap and how schools can sustain local values through education.
Find the full transcript and a model answer outline for today's challenge question right now on our website, IELTSZone.org.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram for more quick daily tips. We'll be back tomorrow for Friday's episode, where we'll be diving into work and economy.
Thank you for joining us in the IELTS Zone. Keep practicing, and we'll see you tomorrow.